Okay, this would be our next topic and the last topic for chapter 1, in which it is the composition of functions. So composition of functions, in here we have to include two functions. Now, wherein the first function will serve as the main function and the second function will serve as the domain of the main function. Siyempre, of course, mamaya, maintindihan nyo kung ano yung sinasabi ko dito, that we have two functions. One is the main function and the other is the domain of the main function. So once again, we have the compositions of functions, which serves as of course, the last topic of our chapter 1. Okay, so we have here the definition of composite functions or compositions of functions. Ang sabi dito sa definition natin, if f and g, highlight ko lang ha, if f and g are functions, then the composite function denoted by, so this would be the symbol for the composite function. The symbol for the composite function, it would be read as the composition of f and g functions. Okay? Ulitin ko, this symbol serves as or stated as the composition. Ito kasi mismong symbol for composition the composition of the two functions f and g. Okay? Which is being defined as ito. Ito mismo yung definition ng composite function. Ang sabi dito, that the composition of functions f and g of the domain x is equal to what? F of g of x. Ganito yan pagkabasa, okay? F of g of x. Ito, nanggaling ito dito sa mismong definition na function notation, di ba? Ang function notation, meron siyang f of x, wherein basically, the function f is the same as the function f here, while the domain x here is the second function. Kaya nga, ang sabi ko kanina that if we have the main function, we also have the secondary function or serves as the domain of the main function. So, ulitin ko lang that in here, we have two functions, f and g. One is considered as the main function and the other is considered as the domain of the main function. Ma'am, paano po natin ma-identify or ma-determine kung sino po dito yung main function at saka sino po dito yung domain ng main function? Yung left function, yung pinakaunang function, this is considered as the main function. Okay? So, isusulat ko lang. This would be the main function. So, si f at saka yung dito is considered as the main function. Okay? Ito yung main function. Ibig sabihin, ito yung ipaprocess natin mamaya. Okay? Kasi meron tayong process sa composition ng functions. While the other function, g of x, itong pangalawang function, ito yung function sa right, this is considered as the domain. Okay? The domain, sulat ko lang, this would be the domain of the main function. Okay? Ma'am, hindi po ba yung domain, ang ibig sabihin po nun is the value of the x? Tama ba? The value of the x, okay? The composition of f and g of x is equal to the main function wherein it has what? It has a domain which is the second function. So instead of having x here as the domain of f, here, we have the second function that serves as the domain of the main function. Ulitin ko lang dito ha, that the composition of two functions f and g, f is the main domain and a main function pala, then G is the domain of the main function. Ulitin ko ha. The composition of function, meron tayong dalawang functions dito, f and g. F, or the first function, is considered as the main domain, or main function pala. Tapos, yung second function is considered as the domain of the main function. So, instead of having exact values for the domain of f, we have here another function that serves as the domain of the function f, okay? Which is being defined or equals to the main domain f of g of x. Ang g of x dito is the value of x. Okay? Is the domain of f. Okay? So, bali, lahat ng x dito sa f, mamaya magbibigay kasi ako ng example. Lahat ng x dito sa function f, papalitan natin ng value ng second function or ng function ng g of x. Dito sa box na to, magbibigay ako mamaya ng example. Okay? So, paano po natin babasahin itong right side? That f of g of x. Function f with domain of g of x. That's how you read. Okay? So, the domain of the composition of f and g is the set of all numbers in the domain of g, such that g of x is in the domain of f. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito that f has a domain which is the second function. Okay? That is g of x. Okay? Note, ito yung note na sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina that the first function, yung pinakaunang function, kahit anong letter ito, will serve as the main function, and the second function here, the second function, yung g mismo, serves as the domain or value ng x nung mismong function f natin. Okay? So, magbibigay ako dito ng example. Okay. Ang sabi dito, ayan, ang sabi dito, given function f of x equals x plus 1 and g of x equals x minus 2. Find the composite functions or composition of functions f and g of x. Ano kasi yung una natin gagawin dito? Ang una natin gagawin dito is to determine, of course, the main function. Okay? So, the main function here, since yung pinakaunang function natin is f, this would be our main function. Okay? Main function po, ito. Okay? Tapos po, yung pangalawang function, which is g, this would be the domain. Domain of the main function. Okay? So, paano po yung process ng composition of functions? Meron tayong dalawang functions, f of x equals x plus 1 and g of x equals x minus 2. Of course, we have to solve for the composite function. So, this would be the solution. Okay? First and foremost, you have, of course, to rewrite, of course, the definition of composition of function. Paano po kasi yung definition ng composition of functions? Ang definition po would be composition of function f and g of x is equal to main function f, tapos meron siyang parenthesis. Sa loob ng parenthesis, we have the domain kasi nga ito yung x. F of x. Tapos yung x dito, papalitan natin ng g of x. Kasi sa composition of function, ang magiging domain natin, instead of only having x, the domain would be the second function. Ulitin ko lang, sa composition of function, ang isang function, ang unang function would be the main function, and the second function would be the domain of the main function. So, isusulat natin si main function f, tapos yung magiging x niya would be the second function, which is g of x. Okay? So, after nating masulat ang definition na to, after nating masulat, paano po yan? Paano po yung process natin? Ang process natin would be like this. Since ang pinakaunang function natin or ang main function natin is f, kukunin natin yung value ni f dito sa taas, which is x plus 1, yun yung ilalagay natin dito. So, this is the value of f. Okay? After nating masulat yung value ng x, yung next step natin would be what? That's the time na ilalagay na natin yung domain. Ano po kasi yung domain natin? Ang domain natin is yung value ng second function which is x minus 2, value po ng g of x. Saan po natin ilalagay? Since ang domain is the set of all values of x, lahat ng x dito sa mismong function f natin, kasi ito yung value ng f, tama? Ito yung value ng f. Lahat ng x dito, papalitan natin sila ng value ng g of x. Okay, which is x minus 2. Kaya nga, as you can see sa ating next solution, kinopy-paste ko lang itong mismong definition, tapos equal sign, tapos ito yung papalitan natin. Ano kasing ipapalit natin sa x na to? The value of the second function. Kasi g of x is the domain. Okay? G of x is the domain. Therefore, ang value ng g of x, yun yung ipapalit natin sa x ng f. Okay? So, si x becomes x minus 2. Tapos, plus 1. Okay? So, this is x. Ayan ho. This is x. This is x. Ayan. This serves as x plus 1. Saan kasi nanggaling ito? Saan kasi nanggaling ito? Nanggaling po ito dun sa value ng g of x. Kasi po, ang g of x, yun yung mismong domain or value ng x ng function f. Kaya lahat ng x ng function f, ito, lahat ng x niya, papalitan ko ng g. Okay? So, this is g of x, which is the domain. So, after nating masubstitute yung g sa lahat ng x ng f, that's the time na is-simplify na natin. So, paano po ang simplification? Siyempre, of course, alisin natin yung parentheses. May iiwan is x minus 2 plus 1. Okay? Composition of f and g of x is equal to x minus 2 plus 1. Therefore, the composition of function given two functions f and g of x is equal to x minus 1. Okay? So, ito mismo, nakuha natin yan through the process of composition. F serves as the main function and g serves as what? The domain of f. Kaya nga, si f dito, yun yung isinulat natin na una kasi yun yung gagamitin natin na function. Kumbaga parang evaluation of function ito. Kaso yung value ng x natin, instead of exact values, ang ginamit natin for evaluating f is the second function or value ng second function. Kaya dito sa part na to, yung x, in-evaluate natin using the value of g, which is x minus 2. Okay? After nating masulat itong g na to, that's the time na is-simplify na natin. Ang makukuha natin na composition of function would be x minus 1. So, ito na po yung pinaka-final answer natin. Ulitin ko lang, that composition of function, para siyang process ng evaluation of function. Kaso, sa evaluation of function kasi exact values ang binibigay or terms. Dito naman, we have a function na magiging value ng x ng isang function. Ang laging tatandaan nyo lang dito would be the main function and the domain of the main function. Okay? Ang main function would always be the first function written and the second function written would always be the domain. Okay? So, let's have the examples na on next slide. So, ito. Examples. Find and simplify. Kailangan natin i-find and simplify the composition of the following function. So, I have here 5 items. Ang sabi dito, the composition of g of f of x, then the composition of f and r of x, composition of Q and G of X, composition of R and Q of 3, and composition of J and R of 5. Ma'am, paano po to? Meron po siyang value ng 3, tapos yung X po dito sa baba, meron po siyang value of 5. Mamaya, i-combine natin kasi yung dalawang concepts na composite function at saka yung evaluation. After natin makuha yung composition of function, that's the time na mag-evaluate na tayo when x is equal to 3. Okay? So, unahin muna natin lahat ng functions na kakailanganin natin kunin yung compositions nila. So, dito sa second box, ito yung mismong functions na gagamitin natin. F of x, meron siyang 2x plus 1. Q of x, meron siyang x squared minus 2x plus 2. Tapos si R of x, ratio po siya ng dalawang binomial, 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. And g of x would be equal to x, square root of x plus 1. And yung pinaka-last is j of x na we're in. It is equal to bracket x plus 1. Take note that yung naka-bracket na x is the greatest integer. Pag sinabi natin greatest integer, what is the whole number, highest whole number that we can get from the value of x? Mamaya, i-explain ko kung paano yung solution nito, okay? Unahin muna natin itong pinakaunang example. Composition of g and f of x. So, this would be the next slide. Okay, so composition of G of F and X. So, sinulat ko din ulit dito, pinipray ko ulit dito yung given na functions natin. Ito. So, ang kakailanganin natin dito would be what? G, ito, square root of x plus 1, and F, which is 2x plus 1. Okay? Ano kasi yung unang gagawin natin dito? Ang unang gagawin natin dito is to identify the main function and of course, what? The domain. Okay? Ano kasi yung sabi ko kanina sa pangalawang slide, that the first function is considered as what? The first function is considered as main function. So, yung value ng main function, yun yung gagamitin natin all throughout the solution. Tapos, yung pangalawang function naman, function f, eto, si function f, siya yung gagamitin natin as the domain. Okay? As the domain of the function. So, lahat ng lahat ng x nito, mapapalitan siya ng value ng f. Okay? So, paano po yan? Unahin natin, of course, isulat. Ayan, solution for the composition of g and f of x. Unahin natin isulat, of course, the main function. Pero before that, kailangan natin isulat yung definition para hindi tayo nalilito. That the composition of g and f of x is equal to the main function, tapos parenthesis. Bakit kasi may parenthesis? Kasi yung sa loob ng parenthesis would be the second function. Kasi nga, etong mismong second function natin, ito yung x ng g. Okay? Ito yung x ng g. Kaya nga ito g of x. Okay? So, after natin masulat yung definition ng composition ng function, g, isulat mo lang g, tapos sa loob ng parentheses would be f of x or the second function. Okay, next naman, of course, copy lang yung definition ng composition of g and f of x, which is equal. Kaninong value to? Kaninong value to? Kay g. Good, kay g. So, ito, yung mismong value na g of x. Kasi according dito, that the value of g of x is square root of x plus 1. So, nanggaling lang siya dito. Okay? Ang main function muna, ang una nating isusulat. Okay? So, square root of x plus 1 is the value of the main function g of x. Okay? So, sinulat ko lang yan para hindi kayo nalilito. Tapos nun, after nating masulat yung main function g of x, that's the time na ilalagay na natin or gagawin na natin yung process ng composition using the value of function f. So, ito yung magiging next value natin. Okay? Ay, next solution natin. Ito. So, definition ng composition ng function g and f of x is equal to what? Ito yung buong square root. Okay? Ito yung buong square root na wherein sa loob is yung x at yung x dito napalitan siya ng value ng f which is 2x plus 1. Ulitin ko lang. Ito. Ulitin ko lang that 2x plus 1, ito yung x dito. Ano yung pinalit natin? Yung value ni function f. Ito si function f. Okay? So, plus 1. 1. Ulitin ko lang that this is x plus 1. Okay? So, yung x ni g, kasi ito yung g, tama? Ito yung buong g. Yung x ni g, ito, napalitan siya ng 2x plus 1, which is the value of f. Function f. Okay? Tapos, plus 1. O, after nating ma-substitute, mapalitan yung x, that's the time na isi-simplify na natin. So, the composite functions or composition of functions g and f of x is equal to what? So, si 2x, mareretain lang yan. Ang pwede lang ma-add dito would be 1 at saka si 1. Therefore, the final answer would be the square root. Ang radicand sign dito, sa loob niya, yung lahat ng values. So, 2x plus 1 plus 1, it is 2. Hindi naman natin pwedeng i-combine si 2x plus 2 kasi hindi naman sila similar terms. Therefore, the composition of function g and f of x is equal to 2x plus 2. So, definition, unahin si main function, tapos si domain i-insert na natin, tapos simplification na. That's the process. Okay, so that would be our first example. Composition of g and f of x is equal to square root of 2x plus 2. Kung tatanungin ko kayo, ano yung composition of function ng g and f of x, you're going to give me square root of 2x plus 2. Hindi na natin to pwedeng i-simplify pa. Okay? So, let's have the next example na. For the next example, we have item B, which is equal to the composite function of f and r of x. So, ang gagamitin natin dito sa mismong box na to would be the two functions. Ano yung unang function? Function f and function r. Okay? Yun yung gagamitin natin. So, ano yung unang function? Function f. Ano kasi ito? This would be our main function. Tapos, si r of x naman, this would be our domain. So, lahat ng x ng f, papalitan natin ng value ng r. Okay? So, let's have the solution na. The solution for composition of function f and r of x. First, definition. Lagi nating ilagay si definition para hindi ka na lilito. Siyempre, susundin natin ito. Susundin natin yung format nito. Main function muna, secondary function, tapos f of x and f of x pala. I mean, of x equals the main function, tapos sa loob, kasi ito yung buong x eh. Ito yung buong x. So, yung x natin would be the second function, which is r of x. So, main function, tapos second function, r of x. Okay? Tapos, next naman, after nating masulat tong definition na to, f, tapos r of x sa loob. Okay? That's the time na gagawin na natin yung paggamit ng values ng function. Siyempre, ang main function natin dito is f. Therefore, ang gagamitin natin value, yung value ng f. Okay? Ito yung value ng x. 2x plus 1. Ayan na. Value ng f, 2x plus 1. So, after nating masulat si f, lahat ng x ng mismong value ng f, mapapalitan siya ng value ng r. Okay, very good. So, that would be the next. Okay? So, the composition of f and r of x is equal to, eto si 2. Ayan, no? Eto si 2. Tapos, si x, napalitan siya ng r. Etong buong, eto. Okay? Tapos, ayan. So, bali, ang value ng r, according dito, is 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. Tapos, plus, kopya lang, plus 1. Plus 1. Ayan. So, 2 times si x, magiging value ng r, kasi ito yung domain. So, 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. Ito si r. Then, plus 1. Okay? Next natin, after natin ma-insert si f at saka si r, next na is simplification na tayo. Okay? So, si 2, imumultiply lang natin siya dito sa numerator. Okay? That would be the next process. So, the composition of function f and r of x is equal to 2 times quantity 2x plus 1. Then, kopyahin lang sa denominator which is x minus 1. Then, plus 1. Hinay-hinayin natin, okay? Tapos, next natin, ayan, simplify. So, eto, paano nakuha po yan? So, si 2, multiply natin kay 2x, magiging 4x. Si 2, multiply natin kay 1, magiging 2. Tapos, si denominator, kopyahin lang plus 1. Okay? Tapos, ayan, simplify pa natin. Ulitin ko lang, itong numerator nanggaling siya dito. So, 2 times 2x, 4x. 2 times 1, positive 2. Tapos, si x minus 1, kinopya ko lang, then plus, then 1. Okay? Hindi pa tayo tapos dito. Okay? So, ito, fraction. Tapos, ito, whole number. Paano kasi yung process natin? Ilalagay ko siya dito. Okay? So, sabihin natin that ito, gawin natin siyang A over B. Tapos, plus, ito, plus. Tapos, si 1 sabihin natin C. Okay? So, A over B. Paano natin i-combine yan? Kamukha lang ng example ko sa operation. Plus C. Okay. So, LCD first, it would be the denominator B, right? It would be the denominator B. Tapos, si B dito, B divided by B, it is 1. 1 times A, it is A. Therefore, ang unang term sa taas, sa numerator would be A. Okay? Plus. Kasi plus ito. So, sa denominator dito, multiply lang natin siya dito sa mismong C. That would be the second term. Okay? So, review lang tayo sa sa operation ay sa mismong operation ng fraction. So, B times C, it is equal to BC. So, etong format na ito, etong process na ito, gagamitin natin siya dito. Okay? So, ganito yung nangyari. Paano po yan? So, LCD, ano kasi yung LCD? Yung denominator. Ano ba yung LCD dito? X minus 1. Kaya nga, ang nangyari dito, yung denominator dito sa buo is x minus 1. Tapos, x minus 1 divide by x minus 1 is 1. Tama ba? Times 4x plus 2. Therefore, ang unang term is 4x plus 2. Right? O, plus. Ang plus dito, nanggaling siya dito. Ayan, plus. Paano po natin nakuha ito? So, ito, si si x minus 1, multiply lang natin siya dito sa term na to. So, times 1. X minus 1 times 1 is equal to what? X minus 1. Kasi 1 lang naman to, therefore, kukopyahin natin yan. Okay? So, next process na tayo. So, paano po nakuha to? Using this process. Iko-combine po natin ang fraction at saka po yung whole number. So, LCD, x minus 1 divide by x minus 1 is 1. 1 times 4x plus 2, this would be the value of the first, 4x plus 2. Tas plus, kasi operation addition. Next naman, x minus 1 multiplied by 1 is equal to x minus 1. Okay? Next process tayo. Simplification na. Isi-simplify po natin ito. So, this would be. So, 4x, lagyan ko lang ng pen. Gamitin ko lang ang pen. So, 4x plus x is equal to 5x. Tapos, si 2 minus 1 is equal to positive 1. Tapos, si denominator, kopyahin lang. Can we still simplify this? Hindi na po. Therefore, the composition of f of r of x is equal to, ito mismo, is equal to the ratio of 5x plus 1 and x minus 1. So, kung tinatanong dito, composition ng f and r of x, ang ibibigay niya sa akin is 5x plus 1 over x minus 1. We cannot simplify this even more because hindi na siya pwede. Wala na po siyang common factor para ma-cancel. Okay? So, this would be the final answer for item B. The composition of f and r of x is equal to 5x plus 1 over x minus 1. Now, let's have naman the third. Okay. So, this would be the third item letter C. So, according here, we have to look for the composition of functions q and g. So, dito sa mismong box natin, ang gagamitin nating values will be for q of x, which is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 2, at saka si g, which is the square root of x plus 1. So, syempre, of course, ang una natin gagawin dito is to identify the main function and, of course, the second function or the domain. So, in here, ano kasi yung main function natin? Main function would be the first function. So, this would be the main function, q. Then, g, or function g, will serve as the domain or the second function. Kasi mamaya, all throughout the solution, gagamitin natin yung mismong concept na yon. So, let's have the solution na. So, solution for q of g of x. So, the composition of q and g of x. Okay? So, syempre, of course, kailangan nating isulat yung definition. Ano kasi magiging definition natin dito? That the composition of q and g of x is equal to main function q of, kasi ito yung magiging x, tama, ng q. Ang magiging x ng q would be the second function, which is g of x. So, q of x ito. Tapos si x ng q, magiging g. Okay, g of x. So, of course, dun sa ito yung mismong definition natin. Next step is to, of course, replace na tayo ng mga values. Unahin natin yung definition dito. Okay? Ang unahin natin, itong mismong main function. So, q would be what? According here, it is x squared minus 2x plus 2. Kaya, ang una natin isusulat would be the main function value. So, ito yung main function. Ang value na ito sa main function, which is q. So, lahat ng x dito, lahat ng x ng main function, mapapalitan yan ng value ng g. Okay? So, ayan. So, definition muna, composition of q and g of x is equal to what? So, etong parenthesis na ito, this serves as x. So, si x, mapapalitan siya ng g. Ano kasi yung g? Square root of x plus 1. So, si x, mapapalitan ng square root of x plus 1. Tapos, do not forget square. Do not forget square. Ayan. Minus 2 times square root of x plus 1. Okay? So, 2 times square root of x plus 1 kasi ito si g. Then, plus 2. Ulitin ko to ha. So, x becomes square root of x plus 1, the value of g. Tapos, square minus 2 times square root of x plus 1, then plus 2. Okay ba yun? After natin malagay yung second function sa lahat ng x ng q, next na is to simplify. Okay? Paano po nangyari ito? Unahin muna natin itong term. Kasi tatlong terms yan. First term, second term, then the constant last term. Unahin natin itong first term. Diba? Sa rule ng may radical sign, for example, square root of a. Tapos, naka-square yan. Naka-square yan. Matik na makakancel yung radicand at saka yung exponent. Ang matitira na lang would be what? A. Okay? So, yung A dito, yung mismong A dito sa loob would be, so, square root ito, tapos squared, ang A would be the binomial x plus 1. So, makakancel ito, makakancel ang radicand sign, makakancel ang exponent, ang matitira x plus 1. So, x plus 1. Okay? Tapos, minus 2 times square root of x plus 1. Hindi natin may pagsasama yung term sa loob ng radicand sign at saka yung 2. So, dito lang siya sa labas. 2 times square root of x plus 1. Tapos, copy plus 2. Okay. So, next na yan is to simplify pa. Lahat ng pwedeng isimplify, isimplify. So, dito, ang pwede nating isimplify is ito lang si 1 at saka si 2. Si x, hindi siya pwedeng isimplify dito. Kasi si x dito, part siya ng buo. Okay? So, hindi po sila similar terms. So, ang pwede lang isimplify is si positive 1 at saka si positive 2. Therefore, ang magiging final answer natin would be ito. Okay? So, q of g of x is equal to x. Ayan, susulat ko lang. Gamit ako ng green pen. So, x. Okay? Then, positive 1 plus 2 equals positive 3. Ilalagay natin always si constant dun sa last. Okay? Then, copy lang si minus 2 square root of x plus 1. Kasi, hindi naman po natin pwedeng i-combine si 2 square root of x plus 1 sa iba. Okay? So, ulitin ko lang po. X, copy. Then, 1 plus 2, 3. Okay? Tapos, negative 2, square root of x plus 1, copy-paste lang. Can we still combine terms here? No, hindi na pwede. So, this would be the final answer. So, the q composite to g of x is equal to what? X minus 2, square root of x plus 1 plus 3. So, the composition of q and g of the domain x equals x minus 2 square root of x plus 1 plus 3. Ito yung bibigay yung sagot sa akin for the composition of q and g. Okay ba yan? Okay. Let's have naman the next item letter D sa next slide. Okay, dito sa ating fourth example pala. So, we have here item D, which is the composition of R and Q of 3. Okay? So, yung previous examples natin from A to C, wala silang value ng X dito. Kasi, usually, composition yan ng dalawa, tapos X lang yung dito. Tama? And, of course, dito, i-apply natin yung concept ng evaluation. So, after natin makuha yung composition, that's the time na i-evaluate natin. Parang yung sa operation, kunin muna natin yung sum, difference, product, or quotient, then dun tayo mag-evaluate. Parang kamukha lang yan nito. Okay? So, composition muna tayo. Ang una natin gagamitin dito, or kukunin dito would be the composition of R and Q muna of X. So, hindi muna natin gagalawin si 3. Okay? So, ang gagamitin natin would be the value of R, which is the ratio 2x plus 1 over x minus 1, and of course, Q, which is x squared minus 2x plus 2. So, identify natin yung pinaka-main function and secondary function. So, R, main function natin yan. Tapos, si Q would be the domain or the second function. So, ang isusulat natin dito, sa pinakaunang solution dito, would be, of course, the definition. Ang definition natin would be ito. So, same functions are composition of R and Q kasi yung hinahanap natin, composition ng R and Q of X, which is equal to main function R. Tapos, yung sa loob would be the X value, and yung X value ng R will be the second function, which is Q. Okay? Function Q. So, R of X and yung X ng R, mapapalitan siya ng Q. Okay? Next. Bale, itong mismong expression na to is the definition. Tapos, next step tayo. Ayan. So, main function muna yung isusulat natin, which is R. Anong value ng R dito? 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. So, 2x plus 1 over x minus 1, that would be the value of the main function R. Then, of course, ano kasi yung next natin? Lahat ng x natin, tingnan natin kung merong x yung R. Lahat ng x dito sa R, function R, papalitan natin siya ng second function value. Okay? So, yung x dito, mapapalitan siya ng q. At yung x dito sa baba, mapapalitan din siya ng q. So, bali, magiging ano? Ayan. So, definition, equal sign, then 2, ito si 2, tapos si x, mapapalitan siya ng value na gagamitin natin is yung value ng q. Bale, ito, x, magiging q, ayan, x squared minus 2x plus 2. So, isusulat natin siya dito. X squared minus 2x plus 2. Ayan. So, 2. Tapos, si x, eto si x. Okay? So, eto kasi yung q natin. Okay? Q. So, bale, x squared minus 2x plus 2. Then, plus 1. All over, what is our x? Our x here is x squared minus 2x plus 2. Ito si x. Then, minus 1. Ano kasing pinalit natin dito? Yung value ng q, which is x squared minus 2x plus 1. So, after natin mapalitan, lahat ng x dito, ng value ng second function natin or domain, that's the time na isi-simplify na natin. So, syempre, unahin natin ito. Distributive property tayo dito. Okay? Si 2, i-distribute natin sa lahat ng terms dito sa loob ng parentheses. Okay? So, ayan. So, 2 times x squared, 2x squared. Minus, tama? Kasi positive 2, tas negative yung sa loob. So, negative 2 times 2x, it is 4x. Then, positive 2 times 2, it is positive 4. Then, plus 1. Okay? So, ito, nanggaling siya sa distribution nito. Then, sa baba, alisin na lang yung parentheses kasi subtraction ito. Ayan. Okay lang yun. Tapos, ayan. Copy-paste lang. X squared minus 2x plus 2 minus 1. Okay? So, after ng distribution sa taas, after nating makopy yung sa baba, simplify na tayo. Ano yung pwede nating i-simplify dito sa taas, sa numerator? Si positive 4 at saka si positive 1 lang. Tapos, sa denominator, si 2 at saka si negative 1. Hindi pwedeng ipagsama si x squared at saka si 2x. Same as with 2x squared at saka si negative 4x. Hindi pwedeng pagsama yon. Okay? So, constants lang tayo. So, it would be what? 2x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 1, it is 5. Then, all over x squared minus 2x, then 2 minus 1, it would become positive 1. So, pwede pa ba natin i-simplify ito? Kung factorable pa yung dalawa, yung numerator and denominator, kung factorable pa yan, you can factor it out. Pero it's okay din na magiging ganito yung answer ninyo. Okay? So, the composition of R and Q of X, it would be equal to this. The ratio of 2x squared minus 4x plus 5 and x squared minus 2x plus 1. So, this would be the final answer for the composition of R and Q without the value of x. Okay? Ang kaso kasi dito sa item D, ang kailangan natin is the composition, kaso meron siyang value ng x which is positive 3. So, gagamitin natin dito, meron pa tayong solution niyan dito sa, kaya nga ako nag-prepare ng isa pang box. Dito natin ilalagay yung evaluation. Anong i-evaluate natin? Etong composition value. Okay? Ito kasi mismo composition expression natin eh. So, ito yung gagamitin natin para palitan lahat ng x ng 3. Tapos, evaluate na tayo. Okay? So, solution for, ayan, composition of R and Q of 3, which is equal to what? Siyempre, isusulat natin yung nakuha natin na composition expression. So, R of Q of X is equal to 2x squared minus 4x plus 5 over x squared minus 2x plus 1. Kinopya ko lang. Tapos, of course, since our x here is 3, our x here is 3. Therefore, lahat ng x dito, mapapalitan sila ng 3. Okay? So, ayan. So, this would be what? 2 times what? X here becomes 3, then squared, minus 4 times x. 4 times 3. Okay? Plus 5. Then, denominator na tayo. X here becomes 3, then square, minus 2 times x, which is 3, then plus 1. Dito sa left side of the function or equation, we have R of Q, tapos yung x na palitan siya ng 3. Kasi evaluation na tayo. Okay? So, after natin mapalitan lahat ng x dito, simplification na tayo. Unahin natin lahat ng merong exponents, then multiplication. Okay? So, ayan. So, 3 squared becomes positive 9. Tapos, times 2. Kinopya ko muna. Then, minus 4 times 3. It is negative 12. Then, plus 5. All over. 3 squared is what? 9. Minus 2 times 3. 6. Then, plus 1. Okay, paki-double check po. So, yan. After nyan, dito na tayo. 2 times 9. Do not forget to change yung x dito, ha? Kasi evaluation na tayo. So, R of Q of 3 is equal to what? 2 times 9 is 18. Then, negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. Okay? Then, 9 minus 6 is 3. Then, 3 plus 1 is 4. Kaya nga yung denominator natin naging 4. Then, of course, hindi pa tayo tapos. What would be the value for R of Q of 3? It is 18 minus 7 is equal to 11 over 4. So, this would be the final answer. Okay? So, the value for R of Q of 3 is 11 over 4. So, kung tatanungin ko kayo, ano yung value ng composition ng R of Q when x is 3? You're going to give me 11 over 4. But if I am only asking without the value of x, that's the time na ibibigay niyo sa akin yung expression na to. Okay ba yan? Naintindihan? Okay. Let's have the next example or the last example. Example letter D. Same lang dito sa item D, yung process ng E. Okay? Meron tayong evaluation. Okay? So this would be the last example. Okay? Example E, wherein kailangan natin kunin yung composition ng J and R. Tapos, evaluate natin using 5. Okay? So, balik, same process lang ng letter D. Unahin natin kunin yung composition value or expression. Then, after nun, kunin na natin yung evaluation. Okay? So, of course, ang gagamitin natin na dalawang functions is, or RJ, ayan, bracket x plus 1, at saka si R, 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. Kaso dito, sa J, meron tayong condition na yung naka-bracket na x is the greatest integer. Okay? Ang greatest integer would be the whole number that we can get from a value. Okay? Mamaya explain ko dito sa mismong process natin. So, unahin muna natin ang composition solution. So, bago yung solution, identify muna natin yung main function. Ano yung main function? Ang main function natin would be ito, yung una, J. Okay? Tapos, ang second function natin or yung domain would be R. Okay? So, isusulat ko lang. Ayan. Domain or the second function is R. So, unahin natin yung solution. Okay? So, solution for J, composite R of X would be what? Unahin natin yung definition. So, J of R of X equals J, main function, then sa loob ng X, kasi ito yung X would be the second function which is R. Kasi lahat ng X sa J, papalitan natin ng R value. Okay? So, bale yung next, ito. Unahin nating isulat yung value ng main function. Ang value ng main function would be bracket x plus 1. Greatest integer of x plus 1. Okay? So, after natin masulat itong expression na to, next, ayan. Papalitan natin yung x dito sa main function natin ng r. Kaya nga siya nagkaroon ng ganito. Kasi, yung naka-bracket na x dito, papalitan natin siya ng r, which is 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. Ano kasing value ito? Ito yung value ng x, which is also the value of r. Plus 1. Okay, plus 1. Tapos, paano yan? Okay. So, next nyan, pwede ba nating ipagsama, isimplify ito? Yung 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 at saka yung positive 1? Hindi. Kasi merong condition ito. Yung condition na ito is the greatest integer. Kunin natin yung greatest integer after nating ma-evaluate ito. Therefore, hindi mo maipagsasama yung merong condition sa walang condition. Nakukuha? So, this would be the final answer na. So, the composition function of J and R of x is equal to what? 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 plus 1. So, this would be the composite function value or expression. Okay? So, composition function J and R of x is equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 1, then plus 1. So, ito yung gagamitin natin yan for us to evaluate using 5. Okay? So, itong next box natin would be the evaluation process. So, solution for the composition of J and R when x is 5. So, it would be what? Composition of J and R of x is equal to what? Kinopya ko lang ito. 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 plus 1. Okay? Tapos, of course, dito sa pinaka-final expression natin ng composition, lahat ng x, papalitan natin ng 5 kasi evaluation na tayo. So, it will become what? J of R of x, which is 5, equals to times x, which is 5, plus 1, all over x is 5 minus 1. Then, plus 1. Okay? Then, simplification na. Ayan. So, J of R, or composition of J and R, when x is 5, is equal to what? 2 times 5, 10, plus 1, all over 5 minus 1. Tapos, plus 1. Okay? Then, of course, hindi natin pwedeng ipagsama itong fraction sa loob ng bracket at saka itong whole number kasi nga mayroong condition. Ito, yung naka-bracket na ito. So, composition of J and R of 5 is equal to 10 plus 1 is 11. 5 minus 1 is 4 plus 1. Okay? So, bale dito, i-perform muna natin yung sa loob ng bracket. So, it would become J of R of 5, or composition of J and R of 5, is equal to 11 divided by 4 is approximately equal to 2.75. Then, plus 1. But take note that we have a note here or a condition for the bracket x, or yung naka-bracket na value here, that we should get the greatest integer. Okay? So, we're going to find, or we're going to determine what is the greatest integer that we can get from 2.75. Hindi pwede ang 3 kasi mas mataas siya kay 2.75. Ang pwede lang na highest integer that is included dito sa 2.75 is positive 2. Therefore, the value here would become what? Ayan. So, composition of J and R of 5 is equal to 2.75, magiging siyang 2 kasi yung greatest integer or whole number na pinakamataas na makuha natin sa 2.75 is only 2. Tapos, plus 1. Okay? Therefore, the final answer would be composition of J and R of 5 is equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. So, therefore, this would be the value after we evaluate the composition expression final, final expression pala. Okay? So, J of R of 5 is equal to 3. Kung sa quiz ninyo, meron kayong nakitang what is J of R of 5 given these two functions, you're going to give me positive 3. Okay? Yung mismo answer niya, yung mismo na evaluate na. Pero kung meron sa quiz ninyo, what is J of R of X without value of X? Ang bibigay nyo lang sa akin would be the expression. Nakakuha ba? So, lahat ng present ko sa inyo, those are the examples for the composition of functions. Tapos yung sa next slide natin, exercise siya para sa inyo. Okay? So, ito nga yung sinasabi kong exercise. Example 2, kasi yung kanina, first set of example. Example 1 yon, kaso A to E. Ito naman, example 2. Sabi dito, you have to prove, or you have to find out if the composition of f and g of x is the same as the composition of g of f of x. Isn't it that dito, ang main function natin is f, tas ang second function natin ng g. Dito naman sa pangalawang composition, ang main function natin is yung baligtad, si g. Tas ang second function natin si f. Of course, gagamitin ninyo yung concept ng composition of functions for you to be able to find out if same ang f of g at saka ang g of f. Pero kung hindi, then that's the time na mag-i-include, ay magko-conclude na kayo. Okay? So, ito yung gagamitin ninyo na functions. Okay? F and g of x. Okay? So, of course, sa direction natin, eto, upload a picture or a picture file or PDF showing your complete solution. For example, to attach it to the task area given by the teacher na makikita ninyo sa Google Classroom. Ipo-provide ko ito sa mismong synchronous time natin. Then, do not forget to conclude, of course, kung same ba sila or hindi. Okay? So, thank you very much.